pulled up my phone. It has all my friends on it. Hey, I heard that the Minnesota Wild have released their Winter Classic jerseys. Let's take a look. Oh my God. They're beautiful. Hello and welcome to Rusty's Hockey Channel, a channel that I've neglected for over a year because I was trying to not die. So, my beloved Minnesota Wild have released their Stadium Series, not their Stadium Series jerseys, but their Winter Classic jerseys. I always get them mixed up. But yeah, they've released their Winter Classic jerseys. And they look like this, and I personally fucking love them. Apparently not everybody else in the entire universe doesn't. At least according to Twitter. I have my theory about it. Basically, my theory is that Twitter is a black hole of happiness, and that every time you open Twitter, all of your happiness goes away. Because Twitter uses it to fuel its accretion disk, and it will soon take over the world. I think. It may be the brain's best scheme yet. But enough about 90s cartoons, we're talking about New Jerseys. Apparently, everybody hates it. But I and a certain subject of a few people really love the jersey. I think it's a nice throwback to like old 1930s jerseys. And people who say, oh, less is more, this jersey's too busy. 1930s jerseys, they were really busy and also really simple, yet also really busy at the same time. Yes, you can have both. And to the church of the less is more camp, sometimes it's just very good to have more. Sometimes more is more. And this is a good example of more is more. It's something you don't really get with modern hockey jerseys. It's just, most of the time it's just their logo and that's it. Modern NHL jerseys like this, the Arizona Coyotes jersey, they are just a logo, got some sleeve, and that's about it, you know. Nothing too special. If you're in the New York Rangers, it's just the Rangers. The word Rangers on diagonal, and that's not special. I love it when teams throw caution to the wind like this. It's like when the Islanders introduced their fishermen. I kind of like that. Now, of course, sometimes this can go wrong, like whatever the fuck those rejected Blues jerseys were. So I'm seeing a lot of... I think most of the complaints I'm seeing fall into 4 or 5 camps. And one of those we already addressed. It's too busy, you know, from the less is more cult of boring design. Because you can have a very interesting logo that's also very busy. Like Asshole Conglomerate's Unilever. They have a brilliant logo. Yes, there's a lot of stuff going around, a lot of stuff going on, but it's a brilliant logo because there's a lot of stuff going on. And this is no exception, you know. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's the stripes, there's the little mini-map of Minnesota, there's the Minneapolis-St. Paul, which we will get to in a minute, and there's just everything. Now, I don't necessarily like the elbow pads. I think they're a little too much. And I changed the color of those breezers and the gloves, but they're not the jersey, so who gives a shit? The second complaint I'm getting is, well, you already have a big, rich history in Minnesota with the Minnesota North Stars. Why aren't you doing that for the Winter Classic? And I gotta say, where the fuck were you? Cause the Minnesota where the fuck were you? Cause Minnesota did a throwback to the North Stars with their reverse retro jerseys, which I still want. I have to sign up. But yeah, I still want a reverse retro jersey, and I really want this jersey. But yeah, like I said, they're not doing North Star jerseys because the North Stars have already been covered with the reverse retro jersey, and of course, if they did the North Stars, then everybody would complain, oh, well, they're just getting old. We're tired of the North Stars. Give us something new. And they gave us new, and everybody still complained. Like I said, that's my theory of Twitter. Twitter is just a black hole of happiness. So another complaint I'm getting is, well, this doesn't reverse back to a team. Yes, it does. It reverses to the old teams like the St. Paul Saints. A team so obscure they don't even have their own Wikipedia page, which is sad, but then again, there's also a baseball team with the same name, so I guess I don't blame them. Plus, it was the jersey design for a lot of teams in Minnesota in the 30s, and just designs for teams in the 30s. Like I said, you can't do a proper throwback without doing the design. And for those of you who said maybe those should have stayed in the past, good for you. I like them. And I'm making a YouTube video. Go make your own YouTube video. I dare you. But yeah, I do like the history. Now, another complaint I'm getting is, well, why don't they have the big M? Because a big M isn't interesting. It's just like, wow, it's a big M. There's like 7 states that have the big M. Oh wow, a big M. Could there be for Massachusetts or Minnesota or Michigan or Missouri? Or Montana? Or any other state with an M? Maryland? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's not interesting. It's not interesting. A big M is just not really that pleasant to look at for me. Well, it's pleasant, but just boring. This I like, because there's just so much to look at. It's amazing. Now, of course, the one comment I get is, well, why is it only Minneapolis-St. Paul when Minnesota Wild have been banking on the whole state of hockey thing? And, yeah, I kind of get it. But then again, Minneapolis-St. Paul is, I think, the largest market in Minnesota. I think they're also just sort of throwing it back to the two big teams of the 30s in Minnesota, the two biggest, which was in Minneapolis-St. Paul. So, yeah, I do say that they're... And, of course, they kind of... By focusing on Minneapolis-St. Paul, you could argue that they are ignoring history, and I kind of get that. But at the same time, you know, it's the main area that they play in. So... And their biggest source of revenue, so I personally don't mind the pandering to the largest market. Yeah, I get how it's annoying. Trust me, I live in Knoxville, which is always being overshadowed by Nashville and Memphis. I get it, but at the same time, this is only a one-time jersey, and you could let it slide. Plus, there is a big map of Minnesota right in the crest, so there's that, you know. But, yeah, I've said it before in this video. I'll say it again in this video. I fucking love this jersey. It is amazing, possibly one of the best jerseys I've ever seen. And with some slight modifications, e.g. removing that controversial MPLS St. Paul thing and expanding the Minnesota map just a bit. Or maybe adding Minnesota, state of hockey. Or just adding state of hockey in the crest around the map of Minnesota. I think it would work well as a third jersey or a fourth jersey. Get rid of the shoulder pads. Get rid of the elbow pads and replace MPLS St. Paul with state of hockey, and you got a bitchin' fourth jersey that I would totally fucking wear. I would totally buy the Winter Classic jersey and my own personal regular adaptation of the jersey. Seriously, I don't get why people are up in arms about it, other than, like I said, towards a black hole of happiness. So, yeah. I think Minnesota has won the jersey game, and yes, I am biased because I'm a Minnesota Wild fan, but yeah, I really love this jersey, and I would love to see at least a version of it go into regular rotation, because, like I said, that St. Paul, Minneapolis St. Paul thing, that's gonna, well, I get why they're doing it, and I will defend it here. If this jersey were to go into regular rotation, it's probably gonna be big thorn in the whole state of hockey thing. Yeah, they just changed Minneapolis St. Paul with state of hockey and get rid of the elbow pads. But like if they did just those two things, you'd have a perfect 4th jersey. I await your comments and your calls for crucifixion. So that's it for this video. Support me on Patreon if you dare. I also have a main channel where I don't talk about hockey, but I talk about just life and films and TV and all that crap. So, thank you guys so much. This is Rusty Ralston. Peace. And no, I am not going to leave the Blues fans out of the hook. Out of the hook? I don't. And yeah, I'm not gonna let the Blues. There are the other people in the. No, I am not gonna leave the Blues fans out of the. I can't talk.